Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. The next one in the series of this, the WELL PRO KAC or KS1. This is actually a build, or sorry, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to pause it 1 sec. I'm going to go get my punch because I'm going to need it. Sorry for that interruption. I just realized I'm going to need this. Anyway, this is a replica right now that's getting a lot of attention on the channel, mainly because it's so confusing. Basically, this is made by WELL PRO. It is a copy of the KAC-KS1. I also have one that is made by VFC, and that is obviously a VFC system. When I got this, for some reason, I made a video and thought, oh, right, okay, well, this is a... I don't know why in my head it went this place, but it is an MWS-based system. I was wrong, or I thought I was wrong, did a video correcting it, tried out the magazines on this thing, tried out a VFC magazine in there, it didn't work, and then we figured out last video that this is actually an MWS system. Now, the reason it's confusing is because they initially turned around, or they initially built one apparently at the start of the year that was a VFC-based system. I ordered one from Octagon. Right now, when I order it, it is still saying that it is a VFC system. So I kind of was like, right, well, it's a VFC system. You can buy magazines on there right now that don't look like this for the WELL PRO KS1, and those look like they are made for a VFC or made for the older version of this. So it's very, very confusing. But we have confirmed in the last video that MWS mags will work inside the WELL PRO KS1. Just make sure you're getting this version if you're watching this and thinking, does the WELL PRO take VFC or MWS? The answer, we think, is both. Not both on one, but they've made two different versions, and this is the MWS version from what we've worked out. Now, in that video, I also got a load of questions from people saying, hey, so does that mean it can take MWS parts? Can it take a bolt? Etc. So I was like, to be honest, I need to do that video. So this video today is going to be me opening it up. We're going to have a look at it. I've also got my Tokyo Marui Mk18 MWS over there. Charlie, stop. Stop it. He's being really naughty at the moment. Come here. Look. Sit there and be good. Okay, so basically, yeah, so I thought we need to open this up and we need to probably try and change out some parts so we can see if the MWS's bolt will work in here, if this bolt will work in the MWS, and kind of like what does the trigger box look like, etc. I also have an issue with this thing, and I don't know what it is, but there's almost like the firing pin isn't resetting sometimes. It's fine now. It seems to be fine. But I did have some issues if you watch those earlier videos where I just couldn't fire the actual replica. So I don't know if that is... Someone in the last video said, hey, maybe it just needs a good clean. So we're going to open it up. We're going to have a look and we'll kind of take it from there. So basics on this one, guys. It is a $400... or $415, I think, for the FDE version. $409, I think, for the black. I don't know why they're different prices, but apparently cost different prices depending on what you've got. Let me make sure that is pulled out. Okay, so that must not be fully pulled out. That feels like it's out, but this upper and lower is not separating. Just make sure the action's charged. Give a little tap back in again. Take it back out. That is as far as it will go. And that upper is just not coming apart. So again, there's something with this replica. It's just never straightforward. I'm going to try and take out the front receiver pin as well. See if that helps us. And again, it's like ridiculous, this thing. So that's fully disengaged. That feels like it's fully disengaged. This one doesn't look like it's as far out. But again, I don't want to hit it too hard. So that's out for sure. That's out for sure. And this thing is not moving. It's literally not budging. Make sure that's fully forward. Oh, there we go. Okay, so that came apart. I don't know why that was the case, that it is like that. But apparently that's the way. It may be paint. If you look here, like there is definitely, you can see like some paint wear there. Charlie, stop it. Away, hit, sit, there. Don't give me that look. It could be that. There's a lot of grease on the actual buffer weight there. Like a huge amount of grease. And I think I can see what the issue is that we have with this firing pin not going in right. Can you see the spring there? So if you look just there, there is a loose spring. And that's obviously come loose, which is why that is not kind of retracting or staying in place. So that means in this video, we're probably going to take apart the trigger box and try and see if we can work that out. I'm trying to think, should we do that first or we should do that after we test the bolt? Okay, let me just have a look at the bolt first. I don't want to like try test shooting it. Bolt, and looks like a pretty standard MWS, I think, charging handle. Bolt is definitely like, oh, and that's just come off, and that is from here. Okay, so that's really weird. Look, when I pulled that out, that little plate there just fell out. And I don't know what that's from. I'm going to grab the bolt out of my MWS and we can do some comparisons, because that's probably what we want to do. This one, I think I should just be able to push this through. There we go. I've got a little AccuEdge piece in there. But this is the bolt from there. That's the charging handle. And I just did the worst thing you can possibly do, which was to close the actual upper and lower while there was no bolt in it. So I need something long. That's not going to fit. I'm going to have to grab maybe this quickly. My very long screwdriver. I just stupidly released the actual buffer weight into the upper. This is so finicky now to do this. Okay, that's like today's lesson of what not to do. Basically what I just did there was I closed that upper and that released that buffer weight with the spring, which shot straight into the front there. So that is something you shouldn't do, as I'm about to do it again. So I'm going to quickly, we'll have a look at this. Like the MWS one is similar dimensions, but actually this looks longer. This is like a solid piece, like the whole thing is one piece. It also has a charging handle piece, which goes a lot further up. And when you look at the length of the charging handle, they're very different. So I think already this is going to be a very different system. It's not going to be compatible in most ways. It looks like you can't attach a bolt onto here. Or like, sorry, a weight onto the back of the actual bolt, the bolt carrier group. This is actually like a Guns Modify high speed one is the one I've got here. So it's not a direct comparison to, this is so weird, this piece that like kind of pops out. What was it? It was this way. No. I don't know if we want to risk breaking, to be honest, this right now. You know, like it's gonna, as far as I understand, not gonna fit properly. In terms of removing the actual nozzle, there is no like rear attachment here in the bolt. Charlie, like there is obviously with the, like the nozzle return spring. So I don't know how the nozzle return spring is put in there or how it's attached. I presume you have to remove this upper piece and then it will be through there, and then potentially this little like access port here is something to do with it. And that's the only thing I can think of, because that goes in there. I can't see any access, but it's a very, very basic bolt. Similar weight to the Guns Modify one that I have. But yeah, it's very, very basic. I mean, if I put that in, you can see here, this is where that charging handle is going to sit. This one needs to sit all the way up there. I'll try and put this in here and just see if we get a seal on it. And that's not even going to fit into that tray. So no, this is not MWS compatible, i.e. the bolt is not going to be compatible with the MWS. So that pretty much clears that up, which means that this video is probably going to be pretty short on that. Obviously, that's different length. Trigger box. So the upper, again, so the hop up as well. The hop up adjustment is at the top here. So it's going to be a different hop up adjustment system. So I presume, and I don't really want to take this apart to take the hop up out, but I presume that it is going to be a different hop up system. Like you're going to need a different adjustment in here. So you're not just going to be able to drop like a standard MWS hop up unit in there. So it is going to be different. The mags obviously are compatible. So that's really interesting. So the positioning of where it is, but that bolt, this bolt will go in here fine, or should do. Yeah, that one's going in there fine. This one, which is a TM spec Guns Modify, will not go in. It's actually like this piece at the top, which is the, you know, like the track for the charging handle. It's too thick on this one, and it's a lot thinner on this. So there we go, guys. That question is answered for this video already, is they are not going to be internally compatible. Trigger box wise, if I actually remove this, and then we can have a better look. If I look at the trigger boxes here, again, very, very different looking. It seems like there is a kind of like a ZEP plate, but the ZEP plate on this, on the yellow here is the WELL Pro, and this guy on the right here, sorry, this one on your left is the WELL Pro, and then this one is the Tokyo Marui. Yeah, you can see basically they are very, very different systems. Like the ZEP plate here for the Tokyo Marui, and then you've got the holding plate here, which is kind of like a ZEP plate or looks similar, is at the front right up here. And so that's going to be very different there. These springs, I really don't like them at all. Like you can see the spring there, and that's where that bolt release is on that top piece. And that's interesting. That's like a release for the bolt, but all that does is put that little piece in. So I'm presuming when that is like clocked back, that just kind of like releases that bolt mechanism at the front. But that's a really interesting one. Obviously the magwell should be pretty much identical. You can see the firing pin's just a lot smaller on this. You can obviously also see that spring hanging out, but the firing pin's just a lot smaller on the WELL Pro. In terms of the buffer tube, do I want to take these out? They're so like greasy, this one. I might quickly just run and grab a wipe, because I'm just going to wipe some stuff down because my hands are getting greasy as hell. Yeah, there's just so much grease on this thing right here. And like, it's kind of, I mean, it's not dirt grease, but it doesn't exactly come off as the most clean, nice thing. I mean, it's a similar design, i.e. the roller here is the same, where you've got like a roller, but it's not the same dimensions at all. So it's almost like they've taken inspiration from the from the system on the MWS, but it works very differently in terms of how that is functioning. Yeah, so that spring there is just getting stuck. So I'm going to need to take this apart. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put back together the MWS quickly, and then we'll open up the trigger box of the WELL Pro, and you guys can have a look at what's inside it. I don't know why I just did that. Okay, got that in. Bolt out. It's got such a good air seal, this. I love this MWS. Literally my favorite thing. My original gas blowback, the thing that kind of got me obsessed with everything. Okay, so that is perfect. This guy, we are going to try and do some work on. So, should I try and take this out? Yeah, let's take it out and just get a good idea of what it is. I think like it does feel just a lot cheaper, like comparison to the MWS or like what I'm doing with stuff. You've got a very lightweight like buffer there with like a spring on the back of it. So it's actually got like quite a snappy, like good amount of recoil. That's what it feels like. I'm gonna take a little bit of that grease off, obviously not all of it. So I would have thought there would have been a heavier buffer tube in there. And now I've got to try and get this thing back on. Okay, it looks like I've actually got this stuck right here. Okay, so that's in. That's fine. This is the bit we're going to use. I'm going to put these. This is really annoying. Whatever this piece is here, that this does this, and I'm sure we'll do some more exploratory videos. If you guys really wanted me to take something apart or look at like what's happening in a certain part of this video, leave a comment and I'll try and get onto that. Okay, I need to. So you need to place the charging handle in first, which is fine. Okay, so that's the upper. We'll leave that alone. Yeah, so the big fix that we're going to have to try and do is basically reseat this spring that's right there. So let's hopefully it's the same as taking apart an MWS. Hopefully it's not screwed in here too tight, because those are going to be the big issues that we could come across. Right, where is my screw set? I literally just had it. Here it is. A bit of metal shear there. Okay, right. So first off, I'm going to need a little hex key. I'm going to remove this base screw here from the trigger box. Take that out. And that was in there very lightly. It's been a while since I've taken apart or removed a trigger box from an MWS, so to make sure I'm not losing anything. Okay, so that's that screw, blue Loctite with a little washer on it. Put this guy here on my little magnet. That's fine. Next, I am going to remove these ambidextrous. Is actually one of these ambidextrous fire selector. too big. Okay, that's starting to strip that, so I need to be careful. Yeah, that is starting to strip that. So it's too small. It's almost like that. The other side is like a star, kind of torque screw, and this side is a hex. Okay, so maybe I was just taking apart the wrong side, doing it on that back side instead, which wasn't good. I'm going to take this off. You guys can see it. I am going to need to take that piece off in the back, I think. Okay, no, I can pull this out this way. So I'm just rotating it, getting it out. And it looks like that actually will just stay in place there. So I don't need to fully remove it. We'll see if that's the case, but that looks like that's happening there. I think I can leave this side bolt release on. What I'm going to do also is remove this mag release. This is a hard one. This is going to be a hard one. Where's my... This is like really, really hard to get off. I don't know how I'm going to do this one. So I'm pushing it in, but it's not going in far enough to actually get over this. Piece. Like this should come out far enough where I can rotate and unscrew this around. And it's going to scratch paint if I do it, or if I can even do it. It's definitely going to scratch paint, but okay, well that came off that part. I just don't understand how this is going to get far enough over. I've also got greasy hands right now, which isn't great. Push it across. There we go. Okay, so that's now coming. I mean, that was super, super tight. So I don't know if someone just like screwed that in too far maybe, or I can not screw it in quite as far when I come back. Okay, that's that guy there. Okay, I need to get the trigger pins out, and this, I think I'm fine with that. Yeah, I don't need to remove the secondary mag release. I think that can stay in there. So I'm just going to have to knock that pin out for the bolt release, and then the trigger pins. And this one here as well. Right, so let's go with this guy first. Let's knock it this way. This pin isn't actually long enough to go the whole way through, it doesn't seem. Okay, so I need to be careful with this spring. Okay, so that is going to come off. this little spring, I'm just going to place on this as well. Let me just do that there so we don't lose that spring. I'm then going to take off these trigger pins. I think we're just going to go come the other way. Cut myself somehow there. Okay, those pins are really not wanting to move. Well, this one is, but it's not very... Let me just get a... Just wipe that quickly. Where's my wipe just gone? Put this guy on here. Sorry for the noise in the camera. Hit myself in the finger. Okay, so that pin came out there, that's fine. I'm going to put that with that there. And this guy, I'm a little concerned I'm hitting the pin the wrong way. But it's moving, so okay, so I think I did hit that the wrong way. Yep, I did. So I hit that the wrong way. It doesn't seem to have done much in terms of damage to it, but that is something I hit out the wrong way, which is great. Okay, so that's fine. Right, let's see if this will come through or if I need to... Because this other pin here, you can see here, I didn't think it was actually a pin that we would have to knock out, but because it's a weird looking one, this. As in, it almost looks like it's not a proper pin. Okay, so that's out, that's out. I am going to have to remove this because I won't get it out unless it's out, I think. No, maybe. starting to sweat. That's never a good idea. Just now I'm like, okay, can I just push this spring back in? Because I just don't know where it's supposed to be sitting, is the problem. My concern is that I get this pin out and then I unleash something not good, which is I can't get it back together. So let's try. I don't have this pin normally on. Well, actually, we do have it on there. Yeah, normally I do have to take out both of these pins. So maybe I want to just do something a bit more solid that's going to hit it. That's not moving at all. I mean, that spring now looks like it's back in place. So I'm kind of thinking, do I just put it back together and then just try and work it out? Okay, I'm going to do that right now. I mean, it looks like a similar setup in terms of like how to get it out. I'm just really worried with this thing that I'm going to like mess it up to a point where I'm not going to get it back together. Okay, I'm going to put it back together. I'm going to put it back together. Sorry, guys. I know that this might be a bit like, oh, what are you doing? Please don't put it back together. I just want to see what it looks like in there. But I'm just really concerned with this. I would also say, like, I don't think the quality is as good as, it's obviously a lot cheaper. Like, that's like $780, like, stock. And this guy is $410, you know, so it's almost half the price. And I would say that you can tell that that is the case with just the feel of the parts in general. Okay, so I'm going to put that back in. We're going to put this guy back in here as well, which is going to be this one here. Remember how finicky some of these can be now. There's no like spring guide area for this one as well. It kind of just rests on there, and I don't think it's going to like come out. But it's quite interesting that there's no real like guide on it. The paint in certain areas is also starting to like come away slightly. If I hit it or I clip it, the paint definitely will chip. So it's definitely not a Cerakote job, let's put it that way. Not that you were expecting that. I'm hoping that just moving that spring where I got access to it there is going to have sorted it. Okay, that's gone in now. How I cut myself there. That pin though, I need to look up like how to get it out, that second trigger box pin. Because I think that's going to be a real, like if I do that wrong, I just don't know this this trigger box system like I know an MWS one, and I'm just worried I'm going to like release a spring and then this thing's a dud. Or I'm not going to have any information on how to repair it because no one's got one. I mean, we thought it was a VFC system until this morning. Okay, so that should be fine. Okay, that's good. I'm going to put this pin back in. It's going to be, nope, other way. Okay, so that's all good, that one. See if that's back again. Yep. Yeah, so I don't know, guys, what. I'm just trying to play with this at the moment and just see if that's moving, but I'm really unsure of like what the issue is there, like where that spring is supposed to be sitting, and if it is like now flush and back and good, or if it's kind of like not in a good position. Okay, so we can now tighten that up there. Try not to damage anything. I need one more turn, I think. My shoulder at the moment's not great. Okay, so that's good. So that's in. We got that back in fine. So confused by this system. Okay, well, let's put it back together and see if it's firing, because I think that's going to be the big thing. That is going safe, that's going semi, that's going full auto. I don't know how I reset because it's almost like I'm pushing it in some of these to reset it. And it's not resetting, or it is resetting, but then it's not working. Okay, let me do this. And what's annoying is I can't just replace this with an MWS trigger box. Like, it's not like I can get another one that I have and put it together and make it work if I break it. Yeah, it's definitely this paint. It's almost like how it's just like a fresh coat of paint and it's just been put together. Okay, so that's in. Okay. So it's working, but this trigger let's check it out. Yeah, okay, that's fine. But it's now not holding empty, holding open on it on empty. That. Okay. Yeah, same issue. Okay, and then it locked, bolt lock. So yeah, guys, there's something going on with this, like internals. Now it's bolt locking. Now I can't push it here. Now it goes. Yeah, now it's bolt locking. Yeah, okay, so it's working again, but it's just, yeah, I don't know what that issue is just with that forward assist kind of the pushing back forward of that hammer. But I don't know. Hopefully that didn't kind of like interrupt for too long in that video. If it was like a second or two, you could hear me. I'm going to go back and watch it now. But thank you guys for watching. I think in this video, we basically worked out that the internals are similar to MWS, but not MWS compatible. The magazines are compatible. And that's probably going to be about it. Don't think the hop-up is. Charging handles aren't. It's going to be like most stuff I don't think is. So thank you for watching. I will see you very soon in the next video. Any specific questions you have about the internals, etc. of this, definitely let me know, and I will see you very soon. Goodbye.